Hello, my friends. It's wonderful to connect with you today. So, today I'm going to answer a question that was presented in the group. This person had a cold. They were working on some projects, they were cooking some food, and they had on their schedule to create something else. However, at the very end, they felt over it and they switched their plans to reading. Now, the question was, should I have really pushed myself to do what I planned to do? So let's take away the should for a second, because from this perspective, there is no should or should not. There is what you're choosing to do and what you're choosing to be. But perhaps the question here is more asking, well, was that the right or wrong thing, or was that good or bad, or anything like this? So let's breathe some space into that. So from this perspective, I'll share with you this. Anytime you're forcing yourself, anytime you're pushing yourself to do something, the quality of the work changes. The state of being that you are in when you're creating something is fundamental. It's key to your creations. If you are cooking food in a state of, I'm having fun, you're dancing in the kitchen, you're putting food in, you're thinking of how good it's going to taste, you're just playing around with all of that energy, all of that funness is imbued in the creation of your food. By the same token, if you go, oh, I got to get this done, I got to throw stuff together, just got to and you put that in your food, that's also in the creation of the food. This is why in some restaurants, it's so nice to go to a restaurant where people are having fun and are excited, because if you go to restaurants where people are feeling stressed and angry and upset, you're actually eating the energy that they're placing in the food here, which is some of the reasons why they've had prayers and some of the reasons why you give thanks for the food, because in that state of holding space, you're actually bringing the food into your vibration, regardless of who it's cooking with. Now, in terms of, so now going back to the question, should I have pushed through to create this work? I would say your state of being is always, 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 always the most important ingredient in your creation. The people who are telling you got to grind, you got to push through it, they may not yet remember the importance of your state of being in your creation. Even if it was true, let's just say, let's be hypothetical, even if it was true that if you grinded through and you created this thing and you put it together and you made money, even if that was true, if you allowed yourself, if you were kind to yourself and you hold that state of presence, of your highest joy, of your allowing in each moment, all those things that you would have got by pushing through are multiplied. This is the key. This is the thing that a lot of people may or may not be aware of. The more you create with your joy, the more you be joy, the more joy is all around you, the more that things flow into your life. Especially when you're creating items and material of an uplifting nature, of a spiritual nature. Whenever you hear of spiritual teachings, of teachers, whenever you hear of inspirational speakers, whenever you hear of people who inspire, they inspire from their state of being. It's that uplifted, that flowing, that loving, that peaceful state that will actually be of the benefit more than the words, more than the action itself. That state of being is what shifts reality. state of being is what shifts reality. The reason why a lot of beings who are in this very expanded, this happy, this relaxed, this peaceful state, the reason things seem to just come and flow into their lives is because they allow it. And in the same way, when you flow with yourself, when you give yourself permission to create with your highest joy, you're tapping in to the divine. And this is what is so wanted for you, for everyone, for every single being here. For every single being here, our frequency, our state, our truest state is love. So when you're creating with love and when you're creating with joy, you're not just creating from this go human level where everything is small and everything is separate and I got to push and struggle. You actually connect yourself to the divinity you are, and suddenly helpful resources, inspiration, love, energy comes into your life, into your work, into your field. So the reason, so the reason you might not feel drawn to do something or be something is because right now it's not in your highest joy. Perhaps right now the highest joy is for you to sit with yourself, to calibrate, to read some inspirational texts. Perhaps it's to dance, to move, to flow. And here's the key. When you're doing and when you're being these things, you really allow yourself to have that. You give yourself the ultimate permission. Because when you judge yourself, when you say, oh, but I'm slacking off, or I'm not doing this, or I'm not doing what I should be doing, what's happening is you're restricting the flow of this energy, this life force that is attempting to come into your space, not only to rejuvenate your body, your mind, and your spirit, but to imbue everything you're creating, whether you're creating a business, whether you're creating a book, whether you're creating a talk, a webinar, emails, whether you're cooking, whether you're dancing, whether you're making art, whether you're about to talk to someone, whether you're about to sign up a client. Every single thing is enhanced, is expanded when you connect to yourself, when you're in a state of joy. When people are saying you got to push through, you got to grind, it's because they do not believe in the abundance of this universe and of this world. It is because they believe that they are separate beings who have to fight and scratch and claw their way up in this world. But I will tell you right now that the universe, God, source, however you connect with this, is absolutely here with you 100%. It is you. It flows through you. It is your birthright. And we are such powerful creators that we can actually close ourselves off temporarily, or at least we can believe we are. We can actually cover our eyes to all of the divinity that we are. That is how amazing we are. And again, that's not a judgment. It's not a judgment. Don't judge yourself for that. There's no need to. There's no need to. This is all part of the journey. So, the point we're coming back here, should I power through? Should I push through? Let's take away the shoulds. The next time you have an experience where you want to ask yourself this, get very still with yourself. Get very still and don't ask the mind. Ask your whole body. Say to your body, I want to create something amazing in this world, and I trust myself, and I trust this universe, and I trust everything about how I'm creating. Can you please show me the step right now that would most honor me, that would most honor all of creation, and that would bring the highest joy on every level? Can you please show me that? And then sit and feel for the answer. And perhaps from that moment, suddenly you'll feel inspired to write. Maybe you'll feel inspired to read. Maybe you'll feel inspired to go to a coffee store. Whatever you feel, go with that joy. Because what you're doing is you're starting to connect and trust yourself and trust divinity and trust the process. And instead of working from this human grind place where everything's a struggle and everything's hard, you're now tuned into your power of the divine, where everything is exactly as easy as you know it is. Just because a million people think you gotta struggle to do something does not make a million people right. It just means there's a million people out there who are about to remember how easy it can be. Start by being an example. Show by example, live by example, how easy it is to create in this world. Anytime you're creating, it's either with fear or love. So whenever you're creating, I promise you that fear only creates more fear, only creates more fear. It doesn't matter how much money you make or how successful the business is. When you continue to create with fear, you're creating with fear. The beautiful part is in every moment, you have a chance to make a choice of love. Not just for yourself and your creation, but remember, when you are creating with love, you are being one more example of what can be in this world. One more beacon of hope, one more beacon of beingness, of love, of joy. And I'm telling you, you change the world by creating in this way. You change the nature of it all. We can all get everything we want, and we do not have to struggle for it. So, enjoy your process and give yourself permission to be. Trust your process. While you're doing this, be very aware that the belief systems you have in place are going to augment your reality. That's why it's not about stories. Just connect with your joy, and your joy is going to show you from whatever belief structure you have in place, your joy is going to show you the next step that you can have right now so that you can connect with your joy while honoring the perspectives you have. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. Love you.